A month has gone by. That means more tier list videos. And we are running out of ideas, but we've still got Evangelion to do. And if you've noticed, especially on stream, which we are streaming right now, you can come and join us at Twitch. I don't know what the fucking address is. Kyle Entertainment on Twitch. I think there's a underscore in it, but you can find it in the link in the description box. Fuck me. What a great intro this is. But we're here to do Evangelion character tier list. This was originally supposed to happen last month, I think, and then I did Full Metal Alchemist instead. Did I only finish Full Metal Alchemist a month ago? What the fuck? That had to be like 2 months ago or something. I don't remember. Timelines are all fucked up. But we've been rewatching Evangelion. I rewatched End of Evangelion literally last night. I've seen it all. We're going to be making videos about every episode plus End of Evangelion. So there's 27 videos that I've got to make. Only one is out already. You can watch that on the channel, the episode 1 video about Misato's characterization. But here we are to do our overall general character tier list for more general thoughts before we go into in-depth shit with each of the video episode reviews, I guess you'd call them. They're not really reviews, just independent analyses. But let's not waste time, since I've done this on stream a bunch of times before. It is slightly different now. I think a lot more characters are in S tier. But of course, I think we all know Shinji is S tier. I don't know, some people might still dislike Shinji. That feels like more of a 2012 anime community meme to dislike Shinji. But I think everybody gets it now, and enough people that related to Shinji back in the day have come out and made fucking videos about how much they love Shinji. I really think Evangelion differs on which of this one, or this one you relate to the most. We'll talk about which one I relate to the most when we get to her. But it's not Shinji. Shinji is not that relatable to me. I still recognize and understand what's done with him. The depression thing is very relatable, I think, for most people that are born after 1994, funnily enough, even though Anna was much older than us. He was sort of the odd one out in his time period. But the way he expresses like his depressive mood and how it comes out in Shinji, you can very much see that Shinji is supposed to be Anna, if we can psychoanalyze the author a little bit. But I'm sure I'll get into that more as we continue. I don't know, chat's on screen. Are they saying anything fucking funny? Since I haven't looked at chat, but they've been appearing on screen for you. Hopefully they're not covering up the screen too much. I don't know, you've seen these tier list videos before, you know how it works. I think the guy who got killed flying off the thing was voiced by Togashi. We were talking about Hana Hana. I've just started that, so that's what Miller is talking about. Soft Blanket says ... YouTube normie pricks, fuck you all, Savage says. Lovely. I feel when Kyle's little 321 before. So, yes, kind of cute. Sounds cute, I would. Alright, that's chat. They're geniuses over here. I don't know. What the fuck do you say about Shinji in a tier list to put him over? I don't know. What is there left to say about old Shinji Ikari? Something I noticed on this last rewatch is just how much he actually does develop, not just at the end. Like throughout the series, he changes a lot, which is highlighted in episode 17, I think exactly. When in episode 5, if we can set the stage properly, there's a scene where Shinji gropes Rei. It's a pretty famous scene. How it like subverts all of our favorite fucking wacky anime girls who slapped the main boy because he accidentally gropes them. Rei doesn't give a fuck. She's not even that human, especially at that point. She develops throughout the series. But it's a big thing. Everyone's talked about how clever it is and how it subverts the usual trope about touching boobs in anime. But then there's a scene in episode 17 where it's basically the recreation of that scene, where in both of those scenes, Rei is in the shower when Shinji like comes into her room. Now in episode 5, he's like scared and he's like, oh, I shouldn't be in here, this isn't cool. But in episode 17, he's just walking in there confidently, he's cleaning up all her shit. When she gets out of the shower, instead of being like, I'm sorry, he's like, your shit was messy, I cleaned it up. You better say thank you. Toji's also with him. That's a whole different thing. We'll get to Toji in a second. But it just shows that Shinji, by episode 17, has grown a lot. He's become much more comfortable around Rei, especially. 17 is around the type, like, when Shinji peaks until end of Evangelion, where he's, like, getting along with everybody pretty well. He has pretty healthy relationships with everybody. Because it's at that episode 17, 18 point, because it is the next episode where he accidentally kills Toji. Well, doesn't kill him, technically. And everything just goes downhill. But that's Shinji. Misato's getting an S tier as well. I don't think the placements are going to be too controversial here. Everybody loves Misato. As you get older, you learn to love Misato a lot more. I think she's much less relatable to younger kids watching Evangelion, if you're like 14 to like 17, I guess. I know the first time through, Misato wasn't necessarily one of my favorites. I did like her a lot, though. She just wasn't as relatable to me. But now, as you grow up more, Misato definitely becomes maybe the most relatable, though still not for me. Though I already highlighted that it's one of the three, so you must know who it is now. But Misato is easily S tier. There's so many great Misato moments. The moment, like the episode 20 is like maybe the best Misato episode for like her characterization. Even though I made a whole video about episode 21. But her just like screaming when she thinks Shinji is fucked up. Hold on, we gotta follow. Wing Wong guy. Oh no. Is this gonna be a racist stereotype in my chat? But they got the wonderful follow message of fuck off. Hold on, let me check chat. What the fuck are they been saying? Misato is above all. I feel like I should relate to Shinji because he's kind of a sad boy, but I don't. Asuka is my favorite character, even though I don't relate to her at all. So maybe relatability isn't a factor for me. Relatability is not usually a big factor for me in anything. I feel like most people fit into one of the three categories of relating to either Shinji, Misato, or Asuka. I don't think many people are relating to Rei that much. That we'll talk about that more when we get there. Savage is trying to get people to spell iCup. I used to relate to Shinji when I was around 15 or so, Blanket says. How old is you? I don't know. It's fucking Savage is a psycho, alright? That's what you need to understand, YouTube audience. Because he's like, I've seen your pussy before, ain't nothing special, Minty says. Minty always with the classy. Brings the class to the streams. Old enough to be your daddy's, Blanket says. Creative fucking stream you got. Mentally, at least 13, no. Sorry, daddy. Yeah, best girl. I relate to Misato the most, probably why I love her, Blanket says. When you just opened Racist Flower in the middle of a YouTube video. Maybe. Misato, she's great. We all love her. She's super sexy. We love her a lot. I can't tell if her or Ritsuko are the hottest girl. Ritsuko did something to me this fucking rewatch, I must say. But Kaji also goes in S tier as well. Are we ordering these? Because it would probably go like this. I love Shinji. I recognize how well written he is and how his development is fucking phenomenal and how the psychological analysis of him works, especially in those great last two episodes that I love very much. But if we're just talking about which ones I like the most, I definitely like Kaji and Misato more. And probably, yeah, Misato more than Kaji. Kaji obviously has the watermelon scene that I love a lot with Shinji, where he talks about how he can't do anything but water his watermelons, but fucking Shinji can go and change the world if he wants to. It's all great. And then we've got fucking Asuka. Why isn't it letting me? There we go. Asuka is my favorite character in Evangelion. She might be my favorite character of all time. I'm still not sure how we will label that. If you remember on the old channel, I had a video a long time ago that was called Top 10 Characters of All Time. Asuka wasn't even on that list. I don't know what I was doing, but originally, I think number one I remember was Junior Soprano from The Sopranos on that. Number 2 was Tony, and we go down the list. But I actually am thinking of remaking that video sometime soon, and I think Asuka would be a very healthy candidate for number 1. Asuka is probably the most relatable character I've ever related to, ever seen. There's so much about Asuka that's so fucking perfect. I'm going to make a million fucking videos going through the series about Asuka. I'm pretty sure episode 18, the one where Choji and where Shinji kills Choji, I somehow made that about Asuka. You'll see progressively why I love Asuka so much. I almost don't want to get into it here now. As much to like spoil those videos later down the line, but Asuka's the greatest. What can we say? She's easily got the most personality. I even like her psychoanalysis. The psychoanalysis of her probably more than Shinji. Even in End of Evangelion, where it's indirectly also about Asuka. God, that stuff is so good. I just watched it last night. Fucking, the End of Evangelion is so good. I love it so much. Let's think about the best Asuka scenes. We've obviously got the last fight, the I'll kill you, fucking spear through the arm. You gotta love that last fight scene. Her realization there, how snappy it is that she realized like her mother's been with her the whole time. It's all good stuff. Other than that, obviously everything that happens in 22 is fantastic. 8 is fantastic. Everything there. Everything with Asuka in it is fucking perfect. The Magma Dive of the Day Tokyo 3 Stood Still, 2 of my more favorite episodes. fucking just all about Asuka. It's all great. Ray is also getting an S tier. He's starting to see the trend here. Fucking Ray is on this last rewatch. It's cemented to me that I love Asuka the most out of anyone in existence, and I think Ray is a firm second. I think I used to on my first time through, Ray was my favorite character, but now I feel like I actually understand what the fuck was going on with Ray. Ray 2 more specifically, I think, is the one we're all talking about. Ray 3 is okay. Ray 1 is a creepy little girl. No to that. But Ray 2 is like, episode 23 is so good. She just fucking dies. And no one gets to mourn her because they just act like it's a new one. And then later in that episode at the end, when Shinji finds out that it's actually the Ray he actually did love is fucking dead, he can't like process it because initially they thought she was dead. Then it's like, no, she's alive. Then he tries to talk to her and it's just as Wooden as the first time they ever spoke to each other. And it's fucking tragic, especially with the dramatic irony we know. Well, I guess we don't know. But if you're rewatching it, you know, oh shit, that's not the Ray that he likes. And then for him to later have it revealed, so fucking clever. Everything about this series is fucking 10 out of 10, greatest of all time. Black Lagoon, watch out. I heard her like, I'm not your doll to Kendo at the end of Evangelion. Fucking great. All the imagery with her. Her last scene where she's literally like melded having sex with Shinji. That's great. Everything, the subversive boob grab scene we already talked about. Then the follow-up in episode 17 that shows her development. The great moment with Shinji where Shinji calls her like motherly and she like blushes because she wants to do that's great. All the little bits of characterization with Rei is so good. The fact that she's a vegan. There's a million other little things like that. Oh, when Asuka shows up at school and she's like trying to get to know her and fucking she stands in front of the book and Rei just moves out of the way so she can continue reading her book and ignores Asuka. Perfect stuff. Elevator scene, 10 out of 10. Put Yui in S tier 2. Yui is everything in Evangelion. She is the ghost that haunts everything. She is humanity's surviving fucking... She is the proof that humanity ever existed since her and Unit 1 are left in space in the end of Evangelion, to live on forever as humanity's imprint in the universe. And what a fitting girl to do it. She's like perfect. There's a reason everybody is either trying to be Yui or is trying to get back to Yui in fucking the entire series. Oh, it's just all so good. Evangelion. Best of all time. What can we say? I love episode 21. It's one of my favorite episodes. Before the rewatch, I would have said it was my favorite episode. I don't know about that now. 22, 8, 1. Like, there's so many great ones. 25, 26, 24, 23. I already said 22. 19. They're all so great. But fucking, goddamn, the flashback scene, which is more about Fuyutsuki. But Yui's in it a lot, and there's this scene with where Yui's got like 3-year-old Shinji, toddler Shinji, and they're in front of like the lake, and she's talking to Fuyutsuki. That comes back, and end of Evangelion is like that's the main message of the series. She's just so important to everything going on in the background, and like the little bits we see of her like perfectly characterize her as like someone that everyone would like and like fall in love with, and it's just a great fucking all-round situation. Put this boy Kendo back in S tier. Kendo is okay, but the last scene with him, where he's confronted by Yui, Karu, and Rei 2, I'm assuming, or maybe, no, it's probably Rei 2. I don't know, it's a Rei, and they all have the conversation where Kendo is just basically, it's revealed that Kendo is just exactly the same as Shinji. He just opted to go the path to never let anybody in. It's so perfect that he was actually afraid of Shinji the whole time. He was a bad father because he didn't want to get attached to Shinji because he didn't want to lose someone again because he already went through that with Yui. That's also why he doesn't love Ritsuko or Ritsuko's mum. Perfect. Comes out at the end. Gendo was the same as everybody else. He acted like a hard ass, but really he was just the same. Fuyutsuki, do we put him in S tier or do we make him our first non-S tier character? I'm a little unclear on Fuyutsuki entirely. Like, right before, when instrumentality happens, like, Yui comes to him. So is it implied that he was crushing on Yui the entire time? Or he just liked her as a student? No, she does grab his fucking face, and they basically go in for the kiss as he fucking dissolves, and gives up. But the like, him in episode 21 is great, how he's sort of changed, and there's also the scene in episode 9, yeah, it is episode 9, where he like gets mad at the kids and he's like, what is this fucking kid bullshit I have to watch? You're embarrassing us. All great stuff. Fuyutsuki's great. Ritsuko's mother, we don't get that much of her. What's like everything, she's B tier, I'd say. Everything about her is like important again. She's sort of like Yui, as in she haunts basically everything Ritsuko does. Ritsuko literally like is basically circular with her. Circular, that's not really a word, but what she did, Ritsuko also does, and they are very similar. Oh, I didn't notice until this last rewatch that like a big part of Ritsuko's characterization is that she dyes her hair to look less like her mother. Ritsuko's going in S tier. That's what we're getting to now. Ritsuko is a fucking unbelievably great character. It's so good, and I didn't think so until this last rewatch, but watching her more, episode 13 is great, the one where she has to fix the Magi from getting hacked by the Angel. That's all great. In End of Evangelion, she comes back and she helps Kendo again, only to then does she try and kill him? No, she tries to stop the thing, but she doesn't have the gun. Kendo has the gun and he shoots her. Obviously, the last line between the two of them is fucking perfect, where it's muted and you can't hear what he said, and it's either I needed you or I love you, and you get to figure out which one. And she doesn't believe him either way. I think he said I love you, and he was sort of being a sarcastic prick, and she's like, liar. Does she say liar, or does she say something else, and then she gets shot, and then she falls into the fucking thing? Great stuff. Fucking perfect. What else can we say? Her relationship with Misato, we're going to get into that in my episode 2 video on why that's so good. Also a tragic character, as she's just getting perpetually cucked by the ghost of fucking Gendo's first wife. Through Rei the entire time, and then she ends up killing all the Reis because she hates her. Just great stuff all round. Fucking hell. Well, she just wanted some validation or some love from Kendo, and he never ever fucking gave it to her. Until maybe his last sentence to her, and then she doesn't even believe him. What the fuck was Ritsuko thinking? Now we've got Maya. We're going to put these three in B tier. I liked them a lot even before the rewatch, but rewatching it, they actually do have a lot of characterization. This one's the most character out of them all. This one's the least. In instrumentality, he doesn't even get something before, like, he gives up or whatever, before he decides to be instrumentalized. You understand what I mean. This one's in love with Misato and is, like, helping him all the time. He's also big into manga. He's sort of like a big kid. That's basically his characterization. Maya, is basically Ritsuko's protege, and she's also maybe in love with her, because before instrumentality happens, Ritsuko comes and helps her and hugs her. They don't kiss, though. The kiss should have happened. What the fuck are we doing out here? So she just wants validation from Ritsuko, like Ritsuko wants validation from Kendo, but again, because she's following Gendo's fucking example, she doesn't ever give it to her until the end, which is fake anyway. It's just Rei pretending. And then this one gets the least characterization, but he like plays guitar and is sort of a hippie. He's also got the long hair. Very well done characterization here. I forget Class Rep's name, because I think it's Suzahara, but he's Suzahara because she always says his name. But we may as well. We'll put this one in this tier. I used to hate Toji, not Choji. Choji's from Naruto. But I liked him a lot more this time around. He has a very important role as a character. I like that he doesn't call Shinji at the end of episode 3. It shows a little bit of like more depth. They thought about his character a little more. It wasn't that easy. And then he comes back in the next episode. Him becoming episode 17 is great, and it just ends on him playing basketball. It's a really great like final shot. I like all that stuff. Speaking through a little bit here, Karu is absolutely S tier. I didn't like Karu at all the first time. I would have used that disgusting rushed word. Yui, you're probably at the back. I'm sorry, love. You're great and all, but you're at the bottom of S tier. Ritsuko, we'll put him like this. I think that's probably the correct order. Pen can go at the bottom of S tier too. Hold on, we got to talk about Karu more. Karu introduced Humming Ode to Joy or whatever. Chat told me what the song was exactly called. What a fucking introduction. It's so great. Everything he does with Shinji. Shinji just wanted someone to be nice to him, and he literally instantly falls in love with this cute little anime boy who does everything he wants and is like totally friendly towards him. The way the angels are built up as they increasingly become more like aware of humans and try to understand humans more, it's such an interesting little subtextual thing that's never really addressed that well. That much. It's addressed perfectly in its subtlety. It's so good in that the last angel is the last angel is humanity, but the last angel they fight is Karu. Just perfect stuff. What can we say? Evangelion I think Berserk might have had more S tier characters. I think maybe Mad Men and Sopranos probably had more as well. But that's just because the Evangelion cast is compact here. This is basically all of the characters. But they're all fleshed out a lot. Even this one, I forget his fucking name, Kensuke, right? he's not as fleshed out, but he's always like hacking nerve and knows way more than he should, and that's like a little undercurrent that I'm sure if I paid attention to next time I rewatched it, I'd appreciate it more. And all these three, they all get some characterization. Risako's mother is good; she's just not in it as much, and the rest of them are all good, or all fucking great. What am I talking about here? I think that's the end of our Evangelion character tier list. Hopefully this is the last time we do it on stream since we have done it a million times before. I agree with this order largely. I'd say this is top 5. So there's 10 characters overall in S tier. I don't think this one will be as interesting. Not as many hot takes in this one. No one below C tier. Every character in Evangelion is great. Everything about Evangelion is great. It's the greatest of all time. What else can we fucking say about it? I just did a rewatch. Everybody should rewatch this series at least once a year. You get some new shit out of it every time. But I got 26 more videos to come about Evangelion. I guess this will be the 28th video, the old tier list. What else is there left to say but to say goodbye? Come join us in stream next time we do one of these. Support links in the description below. Thanks.